And thank you so much for coming here today to watch this YouTube Live. We are going to be talking about the TIGI Bed Head Grade 8 products. And this is in connection to the TIGI All Brand sale that we have going on right now. All of the products are $14.99 in the US and $18.99 in Canada. This is an incredible deal to offer to the customers that are sitting in your chair. So I'm going to be going through all grade 8 of these products, and I'm also going to be talking about different cutting techniques, some really fun ways that we can use these products in very different ways, maybe in ways that we've never really thought about. But at first, I want to begin talking just a little bit about the Retail to Great program that is going on right now. Retail to Great is, of course, a nationwide initiative that we have going on. That is directly connected to the TIGI Bed Head sale. And for those of you who are choosing to participate in it, you have about 29 days left of this program. And this is a great opportunity for you to plug in, really take this information that you are learning today, whether you're watching it here at the live or whether you're watching it post the live, and utilizing it with your customers that are sitting in your chair. The great way to bring into them some product knowledge that you're going to be getting today. I also wanted to remind you, for those of you who are going, and we are doing an ultimate prize package at the end of this. So as you know, for those of you who are participating in Retail to Great, for salons that have achieved the bottle goal parameter for each and every vendor. Okay, so we've done American Crew, we've done Paul Mitchell, we've done Sexy Hair, and now we're in the TIGI Bed Head phase. And I was just recently at the national convention, and for those of you who came up to me and said, I'm going to win the ultimate prize package, I am excited, because how this works is for the salons that met the bottle goal, okay? And the bottle goal for TIGI right now is 50 bottles. You sell 50 bottles or more, and your name is automatically going to get put into a random drawing. And that random drawing is going to win an evening with Salon Innovations, where we come in, we take your whole team out to dinner, and then we put together an exclusive education that I will be teaching to your team. So I cannot wait to see how well you all do, though, for those of you who have been going for the ultimate prize package and who I get to come and visit next year. So have fun. This is the end of the TIGI Bed Head, is the last vendor sale of 2024. And this is going to be the end of the Retail to Great program for this year. So let's jump right on in and start talking about products and texturizing techniques. So the first product I'm going to talk to you guys about is Manipulator. Okay, so Manipulator, of course, is a product that everybody loves. Now, I don't know if you know this, but I do. Out here on our YouTube channel, if you were to go to the Manipulator video that we have in our playlists, I want you to know it's the most viewed styling product out there. There are over 5,000 views. And of course, that's just not people from Great Clips who are viewing it. That's people, consumers that are out there watching it as well. It is the most viewed product knowledge video that we have on our YouTube channel. And why? Why is that? Because Manipulator adds definition and body to the hair, and it provides style control. It's humidity resistant, and it has a really strong hold, but it's very firm and flexible. It's formulated to build textures between the hair strands with a fiber-like consistency, but it's still flexible, so it doesn't ever get hard or crispy. Also, because of the propylene glycol that's in there, it helps to absorb moisture to keep the hair from getting frizzy and fuzzy. And the styling booster polymers, of course, act like scaffolding in the hair and brings just a ton of definition. So what I wanted to show you guys just a little bit with this product is that maybe some of us don't know. When you're applying Manipulator, the first thing that you want to keep in mind is we know that it's the funky gunk, right? I mean, this stuff is sticky, ooey, and gooey. Now, a little of this goes a very long way. And whenever I apply this product in my customer's hair, I like to add just a hint of water. It just helps it go through just a little bit easier. Really make certain that I'm emulsifying this in my hands. And then I'm always going to start from the front and I'm going to work my way back. Okay, why? Because we don't want to put all that product in the front of the hair. We know that oftentimes our male customers can really just get in there and then they've got all this product sitting in their front hairline and it's not distributed throughout the rest of the hair. Once we get that in, comb it through before you're going to do your finishing style. Make sure you comb this product all the way through. Why? Because you want to decide whether or not you feel like you need to add a little bit more. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that manipulator, you can use a blow dryer on it. Now, the key to using the blow dryer with manipulator is you want to make certain that your settings are on a low blow setting, okay, fan setting, and a low heat setting. You don't want too much heat because we don't want this product to end up flaking, okay? So as we're going in and styling with this product, we want to make certain that if we're going to try to add volume, remember what we learned in cosmetology school. If I want volume, I have to over direct the product in the hair. I got to over direct the hair first. I'm going to get right down there at the roots to make certain that I'm going to get that volume that he's looking for. And once I get it dry enough to where I want, then I can go in and blow dry this style back. What happens when you're using a blow dryer with manipulator? It kind of changes the consistency just a little bit, and it makes it so it's not quite as gummy. And it really provides an incredible amount of height and texture to be able to kind of create those higher pompadour styles, or for those gentlemen that are trying to find a way to really add a lot of extra height into their hair. Okay. So that is manipulator. It's really a simple product to use. The key to remember is with manipulator, you don't want to overuse the product. You can always add more in, but you can't take it away. All right, so let's move on and let's talk about our next product, which is Queen for a Day. I'm going to talk about two products now. Queen for a Day thickening spray, and then I'm going to talk about Small Talk. So Queen for a Day, very popular product. Everybody absolutely loves using this. Why? Because it says that it's going to thicken hair, and it does what it says. All right, let me get my Queen for a Day. Queen for a Day actually provides not only thickening, but it also texturizes the hair, and it has a nice light hold, and it really creates great body and memory to the hair. It leaves the hair feeling really smooth, so that you feel like you're getting kind of like a flat iron look without using a flat iron. Excuse me. It has palm kernel glycosides. So these actually create the volume and the texture in the hair, making it feel full and voluminous. And I think anyone who is looking for a lot of volume in the hair, Queen for a Day is really good. Why? Because it can be used on all hair types, you guys. You can use this on baby fine-haired people or people who have thick hair who are looking to add that volume. The other product that we're going to talk about as well is Small Talk. Now, I love Small Talk. Small Talk is a product that I like to use, but I don't know if a lot of us really knows that we can actually also use Small Talk as a cutting aid. And it can be used as a cutting aid because it really helps to, as you're cutting, it provides that volume as you're going. So Small Talk thickening cream builds volume, and it creates this thicker looking hair. It prevents static buildup. And I think that for those of us who live in colder climates, that's important, because if you're using this product with a blow dryer, and we know afterwards what ends up happening is we've created all this static electricity. Using Small Talk, that anti-static agent actually prevents the static building up, and it really creates that flawless, smooth look. It reduces the flyaways. It also has provitamin B in it that helps the hair to retain the moisture. So I'm going to show you guys a fun technique that I absolutely love using. And first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in some Small Talk. I'm going to use that as my cutting aid. All right. So with Small Talk, I'm only going to use just a simple pump. I want to really distribute this through my fingers really well. And I'm going to apply this into damp hair. And once I get this completely applied to the hair, I'm going to go through with my comb and really make certain that I am evenly distributing the small talk all the way through. All righty. We've got that. Now, I want you to imagine that this is a customer who has longer hair. And when we think about layering, what often happens is that we have customers that come in and they say, I don't want short layers. I want my layers to stay long. I want to really make certain that I have enough hair down in my lengths, because if you layer me too much, I feel like I'm too thin. And so I want to show you a really cool razoring technique. Now, this razoring technique, you only work with this specifically through the parietal ridge and the occipital. Why? Let's talk about this. When we think about the parietal ridge and we think about the occipital bone, this is where volume needs to start cascading down. And it's important that we make certain that when we are doing a technique like this, and I call this interstructural razoring. It's razoring that's hidden. Nobody can see it, okay? When you do interstructural razoring, making certain that you are not going too close to the scalp. I'm going to take a small parting here. All right. I'm going to get my mani just a little bit closer there for you guys, okay? And as I am going in and I'm doing this interstructural razoring, it is really key to remember that you want to be at least 2.5 inches away, or don't be afraid to release the hair a little bit and see where that first bend is. You don't want to go below the bend, because if you go below the bend, what's going to happen is these smaller hairs are going to pop out and they're going to look like they have breakage. And we don't want that to happen for them either. And as we are going in and doing this razoring, we want to be really aware of our tension. Why? Because if we pull too hard, remember, hair is elastic. The moment it gets wet, there's so much elasticity in it that if we pull too hard or use too much tension, the hair then shrinks. Well, if we are using too much tension, again, even if we're staying 2.5 inches away or following the bend of the hair, we could actually create pieces that are too short, and those will stick out. So we never want to do that. We want to make certain. The other thing to remember when you're razoring is to use a very light hand. And so all I'm going to do is go in along the parietal ridge and the occipital inside, and I'm going to do a very simple razoring scooping technique, okay? And I'm going to do that all the way down through, I always say, like, it's like a 3-inch swath here in the parietal ridge. You're almost getting into the top of the hair there, okay? Again, we just go in very lightly, making certain that we are far enough away. We're not coming and razoring down here. We're razoring up here. And you can actually, if you want to, you can do like a scooping motion. And all we're going to be doing is this technique all the way through the parietal ridge and the occipital bone. It's just called interstructural razoring. And interstructural razoring, when the hair is laid down, nobody would ever know that all of that texture has been placed in underneath, and it will end up creating really great volume. So with my customer, if I were cutting this customer in the salon, I would first apply the small talk. Small talk goes in first. I'm going to use small talk as a cutting aid. And then as I'm going to get ready to style, I'm going to shake the can really well of the Queen for a Day, and then make certain that I apply this product all the way throughout, and then just style as usual. Now, these products don't mind heat at all, but remember, we don't want to ever really use high heat. High heat tends to be better if you're not using any products right away, and you're just trying to get the hair dry enough than to add the styling products. So that is Queen for a Day and small talk. All right. So next, we are going to be talking about two products that I really like. One is called After Party, and one is called Foxy Curls. All right, After Party and Foxy Curls. Let me get my After Party mannequin here. So after party, let's take a look at this product, is a smoothing, okay? It is the ultimate anti-frizz hair product. If you want hair to look really sleek and really smooth, this is the product that you want to use. It's lightweight, and it really helps prevent static buildup, flyaways, and frizziness. And it is formulated with lightweight conditioners. And what they do is they help smooth away any static, any flyaways, and it adds shine without weighing the hair down. And I think whenever we think about the way to add shine or to impart shine in the hair without weighing it down is really important. So definitely this is a shine enhancer, and it really helps hair look very healthy. Now, I'm going to actually partner this with Foxy Curl. And what's really cool about using Foxy Curl Contour Cream is that this actually produces curl definition, and you can use it even in the customers that just have a slight wave. It's that lightweight. It helps to shape and define curly hair, and it provides a light hold that can help that texture retain their shape all day. So it helps provide great memory. It has a curl control complex in it that helps define and shape the waves and the curls. And it has an anti-frizz building blend of products that actually combat humidity. It actually helps keep hair smooth. The curlies wavy. The curls are going to, or waves will be really curly, and helps retain. And it also has polymers in it for a nice light hold, so that we never have to worry about that particular thing losing the hair losing its shape. Okay. And the other thing that I like about using the two of these together is they both provide moisture. So if you're working with a customer that has coarser, thicker hair and using After Party and Ego Boost together, it's actually going to enhance the hydration of their hair and make it look really healthy and smooth. So I'm going to show you guys another cutting technique here. And let me make certain, yep, I got the right mannequin here. So I'm going to show you guys. No, I'm going to show you. This is my mannequin. Here we go. Here we go. So I want to teach you all a really cool technique that's called incising. Okay. Now, incising is a beautiful way of adding in layers that are not like in a row. They're really shattered, super textured. And the customers feel like they're getting a little bit more of a funkier texture or layers to their hair. Now, whenever we are preparing the hair to do any kind of texturizing technique, having that base foundation of product is really important. So I will have already put in the Ego Boost. My Ego Boost is already in here. And then I want to add in Foxy Curl. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can use Foxy Curl as a cutting cream. The hair loves it. Now, remember, a little of this product can go a long way. So I'm just going to add it right to my already hair that's already been wet down. And then I'm going to show you a wonderful incising technique, but I have to go to the other side, because if I don't go to the other side, you guys cannot see what it is that I'm doing. All right. Now, incising. No, I'm teaching. Yeah. Incising is completely different. When we incise, and I want to make certain that you guys can all see this, okay? When I'm going in, the key to incising or doing incise layers is this. First thing is that we want to make certain that we open our shear, okay? And this is where I'm going to be cutting. I'm not cutting through the tip. I'm not closing my shear as I'm doing this, all right? I'm just going to keep my shear, and I'm going to work down here in what I call the cross of the shears. And as I'm doing it, I'm going to only open and shut the thumb. Now, what is different about this than slide cutting or slide layering? Well, the thing is that as I'm going in and I'm doing my incising, and again, I'm just opening and shutting my thumb, I am creating layers throughout this whole look that have this really fun, natural, unstructured sort of texture that happens. Let me show you this again. So I go in and I really comb that hair nice and smooth. And I want to make certain that I am aware of where I'm beginning. I don't want to get too close to the scalp because I'm just adding some beautiful texture and layering to the hair. I'm going to only open and shut the thumb. And as I'm doing it, and as you can see, I am removing hair to create these really disrupted layers. That's a good word for it, don't you think? Disrupted layers. And that gives the hair a lot more of the ability to just bring out its own natural wave and natural curl. And because the Foxy curl is in there, it does that as well. All right, so let's talk a little bit about retailing. I want to talk about educating and recommending to the customer, all right, before I move on to my next series of products. When we think about educating and recommending to the customer, I think that one of the things that's really important is remembering that it's not about selling. We're not selling. Selling a product doesn't help. We've done enough customer research that we know very well that if we try to sell products, customers get disengaged completely. And so when we think about the 5 steps to delivering great, right? We are going to be delivering from the moment that customer walks in the door all the way through until they leave. All 5 steps have an opportunity for us to be able to number one, discover what it is that's going on with their hair or their scalp skin, figure out what might be the best products to offer them and to get them into. And then we want to make certain that we follow that through in step 3, retail talk products. Now, when we're talking products, Salon Innovations has 4 simple steps, and they are the most brilliant steps ever, okay? So if I'm talking to my customer here, all right, I just want to make certain that she understands what it is that I'm recommending to her today. So what I'm recommending for her today is Queen for a Day. I want to look at my customer directly in the eye. I don't want to look at them through the mirror. I want to give them eye contact. And I want to be able to say to them, this is the product that I'm recommending for you today. It is TIGI Bed Head Queen for a Day. And this is a thickening spray. Okay, that's what it is. What am I recommending to the customer? Well, now I got to share with them why. Why am I recommending this product? What's going on in my brain that I can connect to the customer that I have sitting here in my chair? If I have a customer who's telling me that they can't keep volume in their hair all day long, then this is a perfect product for them. And I want to be able to tell them why I think this is important. My customer really struggles with keeping volume in her hair all day. And when she uses certain volumizers, they're so heavy that she feels like they just end up weighing her hair down. So I want to make certain that I am talking to her about why I think Queen for a Day is perfect, because it's lightweight, it has incredible memory, and it's going to help her retain her style all day long. Okay. So what am I recommending the product? Why am I recommending this product? Based on the discovery that I did while doing the consultation and beginning to cut their hair. Now, the next part is, of course, how. How do you use it? I stood behind the chair, you guys, for 17 years with Great Clips, and I know how easy it is for us to slip into asking what I call closed-ended questions. Closed-ended questions are a way for us to shut down a retail conversation so fast that the customer just says no right away. So we want to make certain that whenever we are asking our customers to apply product in their hair, that we're doing it in a way where we're connected. So we discussed this. This is what you told me. We're going to be working on creating more volume in your hair. I'm keeping it in this we conversation. We're a team now. I'm the professional. I'm the stylist. I'm helping her out. So we're going to use this product today. And I'm going to show you how to use it. Instead of me saying, can I use this in your hair today? If I ask, can I use this product in your hair today? 9 times out of 10, you guys, we both know, we all know that what we're going to get is a no. But if I keep it as a relationship, we are talking about your hair, we're working on creating volume. I just am going to simply say, I'm going to nod my head. For those of you who know this technique, it does work. I'm going to nod my head and I'm going to say, so I'm going to show you how to use this product. We're going to work on bringing volume to your hair. And then I just simply wait. If the customer says no, then I'm not going to apply product. But 9 times out of 10, they say, oh, sure, okay, let's go for it. Because I'm maintaining that relationship with them. So I want you guys to start thinking about speaking in the we. We discovered, we came up, we have this wonderful relationship together, and we are going to solve your problems together. All right. Then the last step is the personal touch. Now, the personal touch I like to bring in a little bit later in the retail conversation or in the education recommendation conversation. Okay. Sometimes I will bring the professional touch up even when I'm up at the register. And to me, the professional touch is I want to be able to tell them personally why I think this is the right product for them. But I also want to let them know that this is my professional recommendation. So that personal touch is really where we shine as professionals. And so when we are letting them know the reason why I'm recommending for this for you is I think this is the right product for you. It's my professional recommendation. We're backing up what it is that we're saying. And I want to also remind you that not every customer is going to purchase a product. They're not. The goal here is about being consistent. Consistency is key. When delivering great through the 5 steps, each and every one of those steps, we have an opportunity to connect with our customer, to build a relationship that really is going to help them feel like they are a part of our team, that they're included in what's going on in the salon. And what that does is that ends up bringing the customers back. So we want to make certain that we are delivering on all 5 steps. And let's not skip step 3, talk products, because talking product is just a beautiful bridge. It's a way of building that rapport and that relationship with our customers. Okay. Now, I do want you guys to know that if you have any questions, comments, go ahead and put them in the chat. I promise you that after this live, I will be more than happy to reach out to you and answer any questions that you have so far. So now we're going to move on, and we're going to move on to our next product, which is going to be, I believe, the Extreme Foxy Curl Mousse. Yeah. So interestingly enough, I've been playing around with Extreme Foxy Curl Mousse quite a bit. I'm going to change my camera angle just a little bit here because I really want to make certain that you guys can actually see the difference in the textures here. All right. So this is a very curly mannequin that wanted to be able to create these super fun, beachy, bouncy curls. And this is not finished yet, but I wanted to show you guys a fun little technique that I did. And it's kind of like the Bantu curls or the Bantu rolls that we were taught, but they're a little bit different, okay? I also want to remind you that once we are setting hair in a style, it's okay to use a brush to break up that look and break up those curls, because we're going to go in and define these curls just a little bit. So how I did this, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it, is I applied the Extreme Mousse and I split the parting in 2, and I wrapped them in on themselves, and then I twisted them up and I let them dry. Okay, customers can do this at home. So anytime that we can show them a fun little way that they can go in and style their own hair, there's nothing better than doing that. So I set this whole head. First off, I used a little bit of Small Talk down at the base. And then I applied the Extreme Mousse over the top. So let me show you how I did this. First off, the only tools that you need are a couple bobby pins and your comb and your product. Now, Extreme Mousse, interestingly enough, what I love about this product is it does not really get like crunchy or stiff or anything like that. Ben, can you go back to the Extreme Mousse slide so that we can kind of go through the PK on this. Okay. One of the things about Extreme Mousse is that it is formulated in a way where people with naturally curly hair are going to be able to get the definition to the curl that they're looking for. It actually has a very strong hold. It maintains its shape, and it has incredible curl definition. But one of the things that I want you to know is this. I mean, I used a ton of this mousse in these little Bantu curls that I created, and yet they are not sticky, they're not stiff. And you know how sometimes when you're using an extreme curl mousse, that can happen? Not with this particular product. Another cool thing about it is it's humidity resistant. And I think anyone who is dealing with curls, that is probably one of the things that they want to connect to the most, is that they really don't want to have their curls become frizzy or fuzzy. So having humidity resistance is really important. Another thing about Foxy Curls that is really cool is that it also has a heat protectant in it, okay? And that heat protectant is a really good way for anyone who is doing any kind of diffusing or using a heat source to try to enhance their curls, or if they're going in afterwards and using a curling iron. So if they're using the Foxy Curl Extreme Mousse first, and then going in and doing a curling iron curl, they don't have to worry about their hair not being protected. Okay, so wonderful, wonderful product for anyone who is looking to rearrange or change their curls in any way. So I want to show you how I created these fun little Bantu curls. So I am going to section this hair off. And I like to use great big sections because I think that that's what's realistic for the customers. Our customers in our chair, they're not going to sit there and take these teeny, teeny, tiny little sections, you guys. They're just not going to do it. So we want to make certain that we are showing them a technique that they can actually do at home. So I take nice big sections. Sometimes my sections can be 2-3 inches. Once I get this section done, here's the section that I created. Now I'm going to go in, I'm going to split this section in half. Okay, there are my 2 sections. Now, got to shake this can really good. Why? Because we want to make certain that we're activating the mousse. And when I apply this in my hand, I'm not going to do this great big mound because I'm going to teach my customers that all they need is about that much for both sections of hair. Emulsify this in my hand, and I'm going to rub this extreme mousse all the way down to the ends of both sections. I kind of feel like I need a little bit more, so I'm going to just add a little more. There we go. But I'm still controlling it. This stuff comes out fast, so you got to be really careful, you guys, because you can get a mound this big pretty quick. Working that all the way down to the ends. Okay. Now, as I'm going to do this, I'm going to actually roll them in on each other so that they're actually rolling in together. What this does is this kind of creates this finger wave look that you can get. And once I get down to the ends of the hair, whoops, got it all stuck in my fingers here. I'm then going to start wrapping them together. And you can see I'm not making them super, super tight at the base. I want them to be a little bit looser. And then I'm going to wrap it all the way up and let it collapse on itself. And once I collapse on itself, I'm going to take one of my bobby pins and I'm going to pin it into place. One simple little bobby pin. All right. I'm going to do one more section just again so that we can see how big of the sections I am more than willing to do. I love great big sections. This makes it easy for the customer, or if you're trying to recreate this style in your salon, this is a way more effective and efficient way of doing these fun little curls. All right. Then I'm going to take this, I'm going to split this section in half, splitting it in half. I get my Foxy Curl Mousse in my hand. Okay. Emulsify it. And I'm going to apply this all the way down from scalp to ends. Once I do that, I'm going to actually put them in together, rolling them towards each other. Once I do that, all the way to the ends, I'm going to allow them to just collapse on itself. Twist this down. And again, remember at the base, I'm trying to keep it nice and loose because I'm trying to create kind of a finger wave look here. Once it collapses down on itself, then I would go in and I would put in a bobby pin. And I would do that all the way throughout. And then what ends up happening is when we're done, we're getting these big, soft, beachy waves. But we have to make certain that we're going in and defining these. So I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to brush through. Don't be afraid to brush through your curls. I know that for some of us, we're like, no, we can't do that. It's okay. You can brush through them. Once I brush through the curls, I can then use a wide tooth comb. Now what I want to do is I want to start defining these curls just a little bit. So, of course, I'm going to go in and I'm going to use my Foxy Curl Contour Cream. Now, I'm not going to use a whole lot, just a little bit on my hands. And I'm going to rake it through. Now, remember, Foxy Curl really helps with frizziness and fuzziness. It's going to help me to define these curls just a little bit more and create those fun little beachy. I want more finger waves. So I'm trying to go for a little bit more of a finger wave look to the hair. And tame down those curls just a little bit so that. Now, I'm going to show you another fun little trick if I can find my manipulator. Where did I put my manipulator? Oh, I dropped it somewhere. Well, that's too bad. Nope, here it is. I found it. I found it. You know, when you're in how can you lose anything in a teeny tiny studio, huh? Manipulator. Yes, you can use manipulator to break up curls as well. What manipulator, of course, does is it does this wonderful separation. And it adds a lot of shine to the hair and it reduces that frizziness and fuzziness as well. So I can go in and apply manipulator to the hair. And then I like to go through with my wide tooth comb to help distribute that product a little bit evener or evenly. Evener, is evener even a word? And now I've got these soft beachy curls. All right. So you can see you can do a lot of layering. You can do a lot of different things that really enhances your conversations with your customers. All right, Ben, let's bring up our next product that we're going to be talking about, which of course is going to be our Ego Boost. Ego Boost is a leave-in conditioner. Now, I wanted to let you guys know, only Sharon Mudgett would do this. I broke my bottle this morning. I was trying to set up for the live and it fell on the floor and I broke my cap. So I'm not going to be able to show you pumping with this product, but you know, just got to roll with what we got to roll with. All right. And Ego Boost is a wonderful product that you can actually use as a cutting aid as well. You can apply it directly to the hair with water and go ahead and cut the hair. And what it starts doing is it actually helps repair those split ends. And I know that if you've got those customers that have high color in their hair, and here, let me get my camera back up to where I was, right? Then it's really important that we make certain that they understand how to go about repairing that hair between washes. And that's what Ego Boost is. It helps protect fine hair and the hair condition. It actually maintains health hair. It's formulated with a conditioning complex that conditions and moisturizes and leaves the hair feeling soft. So imagine using it as a cutting aid. I mean, truly. It's just going to soften that strand. And really, as you're moving through, it's going to help reduce the frizziness and fuzziness that tends to happen with our drier haired customers as we're cutting their hair. Also, another thing that I like about this particular product when we're talking about it with the customers is that it has keratin in it. Now, keratin is a major hair protein, and it is known to have reparative properties, and it increases hair's manageability and its willingness to style. And so when you're using the leave-in conditioner, there is no better way to really help your customer see that they can actually condition their hair between haircuts by using the Ego Boost leave-in conditioner. And then you, as a stylist, can use it as a cutting aid as you're cutting that hair, where you're kind of feeling like, if I don't apply a product as I'm cutting through, this hair is just going to expand. It's going to get frizzy. It's going to get fuzzy. And I think the proof is in the pudding whenever we use a really great product in the hair as a cutting aid. All right. So I'm going to go over another product knowledge with you guys, and this is not a part of the grade 8. I'm going to be really honest, but it's a product that I really love, and it's called Salty Not Sorry. So Salty Not Sorry is a texturizing salt spray that creates this really great texture to the hair. It provides a flexible hold, but it also is humidity resistant. So whenever we're working with any customers that are dealing with split ends, frizziness, flyaways, trailers throughout their long hair, Salty Not Sorry is another great way to add volume to the hair, but also in combination with Ego Boost, the two go really, really well together. Also, this is for anybody who's trying to scrunch in a fun little beachy wave. Salty Not Sorry is a great product to do that for people who already have that natural wave or curl to their hair and they're just trying to accentuate it. And then you can either use it on dry hair or you can spray it on wet hair. Either way, it works. Then you can just let it air dry if that's what the customer is looking for. You can add heat to Salty Not Sorry. It's not going to do anything. So if you're diffusing your customer's curls in any way, this is a good product. So I want to talk, I'm going to go back to Ego Boost. And I'm going to show you guys a technique that I learned when I was back in my last salon, High Uptown Great Clips in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I managed the Uptown Great Clips for years. And I had the pleasure, honestly, truly, it was an honor, to have a stylist who came to work for me. His name was Tracy. Now, Tracy was he just came to Minnesota for a little while, and he knew that he wasn't going to stay, that his whole goal was that he was going to move back out to California where he was, but he had family in Minnesota and he needed a job for a short period of time. So he decided to apply with me, and I was the lucky manager that got him. So hi, Tracy, wherever you are in the world, I want you to know that you changed my life with the technique that I'm going to be talking about today. So I know that a lot of people like to talk about slide cutting or, and doing slide cutting, but I learned from Tracy, excuse me, I dropped my comb. Tracy taught me a lot. And what he taught me a lot about was slide cutting is very different. On longer hair, you have to be really careful when you slide cut. You have to make certain that you're preparing your canvas or your fabric of the hair really well. So, because if you don't, you're going to destroy the cuticle even more. And you're going to make that hair actually just become really dry and frizzy if you're not doing it correctly. Okay. The other thing about slide cutting, so I'm going to show you slide cutting on long hair first, and then I'm going to bring up my short little mannequin again, and I'm going to show you slide cutting on my short mannequin, because I think I got plenty of time. Yeah, I got you guys for 15 more minutes, but I want you guys to know, if you take this away, this is a moneymaker, but you have to make me a promise. You have to promise to practice this. You can't just try this on a customer the first time, because this is very different than slide cutting. This is called slithering. And slithering we are using a much shorter shear. I have actually a pair of shears. These are my slithering shears. Why do I use a different pair of shears? Because I want them to stay very sharp. So I only use these shears when I go in and I slide cut through the hair. Or slither is really what it is. The next thing, preparing the canvas. I used the Ego Boost as my cutting aid. And then the next thing that I'm going to use is a ton of water. Okay. Now, what's really cool about slithering, and I want you guys to know that I have not been behind the chair as a hairdresser since 2000. Okay. Since 2000. And I still have customers. Yes, they are still my customers who come to me just so that I will slide cut them or slither them because they love how this technique works. When we think about curl or wave, okay, there is what is known as, and I wish I had a whiteboard here. I draw it on a whiteboard. I want you guys to imagine a circle, just a simple circle, okay? There is always a point where you go into that circle and you're moving your shear through that circle. And what it ends up doing is it removes hair in a way where it starts creating a wave pattern, okay? And that's the difference between slide cutting and slithering, because slithering is all done in the natural C shape of the head, okay? So I've got my hair very wet. So when I do this technique on customers, I always put a towel in their hand because the key to really doing this so that you're protecting the hair shaft is making certain that it's really nice and wet. Okay. Next, my shear. I'm only using the tip of my shear. It's very sharp. I also want to make certain that I'm not getting too close to the scalp unless I'm working on someone with shorter hair. And I'm going to show you that on my short hair mannequin. But when I'm doing this technique on customers with longer hair, yes, they want layers. Yes, they want that disrupted sort of layered look. But this gives also body. It creates movement. I can take somebody with stick straight hair and I can give them wave just by doing this technique. So when we go in first, and I don't know if you can see it, but I place this in a C shaping. We all know what the C shaping is. And when I carve out, I'm going on the inside of the C. I'm following that C shaping all the way through. Now on longer hair, I'm always going to stay a good 2 inches, 2.5 inches from the scalp. I'm going to lay my shears in and I'm going to lightly bring my shears through the hair. And look at what comes off. Nice, big, beautiful texture. And I just slide my shear down to the ends, making certain that I'm following that C shaping all the way through. So now I'm going to do this on shorter hair, because then I can really, really show you what this looks like. Again, I'm going to prepare the hair really well. So the first thing I'm going to do is wet down the hair. With water. Then I'm going to apply Ego Boost as my cutting aid. Apply this all the way throughout. Then my next step is going to be to comb everything through and put everything in a C shaping. Now, did you guys know that hair grows out of the head in a spiral? It grows out of the head in a spiral with the exception of a few spots, like if you've got somebody who's got a cowlick in the front or they got something really funny in the nape of their neck, but still the hair grows out of the head in a spiral. So what you want to do is find out what direction is the hair. Most of the time, it's clockwise. Every once in a while, you're going to come across a customer who is counterclockwise, all right? Every once in a while. So I like to go in whenever I'm going to do slithering. I really want to make certain I know what direction the hair is in. Now I'm going to bring this a little closer because truly when you do slide cutting, you're rotating around the customer. The customer is not really, turning their head for you. Why is that? Because I want to make certain that as I'm doing this technique, I'm staying within that C shaping the whole time. The whole time I'm staying within that C shaping. All right. So now I'm going to take my slithering shears. These are specific to this process. I have placed everything in the C shaping of this hair. I'm now going to go through. I want to get a little closer. I wish you guys could see this just a little better. Here, I'm going to tip this down just a little bit. Okay. I place the shear in the hair, and I'm literally going to follow the C shape all the way. Yes, this is an aggressive texturizing technique. I'm not going to lie to you. That's why I'm begging for you to please, please, please practice this technique. Once you get it down, it is just the after effects and the amount of wave that it can put into the hair is absolutely incredible. But the key to slithering, the key to slithering is following that C shape, making certain that I am working within that C shape, and I have made certain that I prepared my hair really well, which is water and whatever cutting aid it is that I want. And I'm going to just take a minute to do just a little bit of drying on this so that I can show you guys the amount of texture. And the kind of wave that I can get. Because I can get an incredible wave in this hair. Lots of texture, lots of wave, lots of body. All right. And then, of course, if I want more volume in this hair, if I want it to become more voluminous, I'm going to apply the salty not sorry in there. And I would get really great volume. And I wish I had more time. I wish I could show you what this looks like when it's all dried and finished. But I promise you all, this is an incredible technique that if you were to take the time to practice it and really learn it, it brings the customers back. They just think it's the coolest thing ever. And they love the amount of lift and volume that it gives them in their hair. Okay, so we're coming down to our very last product today, and that is Masterpiece Hairspray. All right. Masterpiece Hairspray is a very strong, wonderful hairspray. It is also a working hairspray. So there's a difference between a fixative hairspray like Aquanet, that is just meant to put it on the top of the head and just make the hair freeze, okay? And then there is working hairsprays. Masterpiece is a working hairspray. That means that you can add more and more layers to get it to the hold that you're looking for. It actually has incredible shine or gloss abilities, so it makes the hair look really healthy and shiny. And it actually provides a serious hold. So it has a 4 out of 5 hold factor, and it has frizz control, which I always think anything that can control frizz is really perfect. It's formulated with some really incredible shine complexes and polymers that give it a long-lasting and firm finish that can hold the hair all day long, because it is, a little bit more firm holding. Now, it is important whenever we think about using a hairspray that is a firm holding hairspray, even a working hairspray, we want to make certain that we're using the can as our guide, okay? this can is about 12 inches long with the cap on it. And that's how far away I need to hold this hairspray. Why? Because if I go in and I spray too close, we know that all I'm going to get are all these funky, weird little droplets. And those droplets, you guys, they ruin the whole style. Nobody wants them in there. They're uncomfortable with them. They feel like they've got this, they look wet and greasy. And eventually those droplets, they just weigh the style down. And we don't want to weigh the style down. That's not what we're going for at all. So I'm a Denman brush fan. Is anybody out there a Denman brush fan? We get to use these behind the chair in our salons. And and we don't really have to upcharge our tickets to just create a beautiful style. So here I have my customer. I have actually cut her hair with Small Talk and Queen for a Day. She's got some nice wave in her hair, and I just want to enhance her style with a little bit of the masterpiece. And so I'm actually going to use my Denman brush. I love my Denman brush. And I'm just going to go in, and as I am doing this, key to remember, I got to keep my can far away and not too close. And I can just go in with my Denman and I can push that curl into place. Oops. Okay. Once I get that, then I'm going to come down to my next curl and I'm going to actually go in and spray down below that. And then I would come to my next curl with my Denman brush and go in and spray with that as well. And what that does is that allows me to give that really nice defined wave in the front of her hair. My hairspray decided it didn't want to work anymore. I don't know why. That's too bad. But Masterpiece is a wonderful hairspray. Remember, it's working. So I can actually go in. If I wanted to, what I just did with that hairspray, I could comb it through, repump it up, and then go back through again and do a final finish with it, making certain that I'm a good 12 inches away from the hair as I'm applying this product, because we don't want to get too close. If we get too close, it's going to get too heavy. All right, everybody, coming to the end of our live. This is where I want to leave you with a couple of thoughts. Okay, let me get my camera back on. Let me get back to looking square at you. You stand behind the chair every day and you are incredible. And if there's anybody who knows what you do every day, it's me. When we're touching anywhere from 17 to 30 heads of hair in a day, it's so easy for us to almost become robotic. And I'm challenging you. I want you to step out of that. And I want you to understand and keep in mind that every customer that sits in your chair is a golden moment for you to change the way they feel about themselves. And in return, it changes the way that you feel about yourself. Bring product recommendation into your 5 steps to delivering great consistently, because what we're doing is we're building that rapport with our customers, we're building their loyalty, and our goal, of course, is to get them to come back and return to see us again. And so the more that we can impart our knowledge, our wisdom, the more that we have the ability to let them know how to care for their hair, how to make the looks happen, the more respect that we get and the more they see us as the expert. So good luck to you all. I know that a lot of you are going for the ultimate prize package. I know that a lot of you are going for the TIGI retail to great prizes that are going on right now. Again, you have about 28, 29 days to the end of the program. Continue doing it and meet or exceed that 50 bottle goal. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Bye, you guys.